different type of webinar. I'm going to take you into the deep dive of what NTI has to offer you as tools through both webinar and through apps. So just want to show you guys and gals, one thing is what I want you to do. The first step is let's go in and register into NTI's website. Go to www.ntiboilers.com. And once you get to that page, you'll see there'll be a couple options here. Now, if you're a contractor just coming on board, or you're looking to find or find a distributor where you may be working, you can look up to find a distributor. That's also in the front page and also in the tech partner login, which is where most of the techs go. And then if you start to look down, you can see we have different categories. We'll have the categories for both residential gas-fired boilers and also our water heaters. And then if you see right on the right-hand side there, the new picture of our Combi S20 tag, which can be a combination add-on to a FTVN or a larger TRX. Also, keep in mind we have videos out there for programming the TRX and FTVN control. We also show you how to go and apply the boiler into what we call our test mode function. All these codes and video, all these videos are available free when you visit our website. But what we're going to do today is we're going to try to take you into a deeper dive into what's available behind the scenes on our website. All right, nothing's going to replace the manual. Everybody on this webinar tonight, you know, keep in mind there's going to be tolerances in the manual that aren't going to be outlined in the quick startup guides or your quick reference guides. So always reference to the manual if you're not sure on, you know, something that's not in a quick reference guide. We have a lot of quick reference guides out there, and we've always had those. I mean, they've always had them even on the old, you know, TI and the TX. We've always had those, you know, quick reference charts. That's one great thing. And as you can see here on the webinar, we have our quick reference chart. This is the one we use for the TRX and FTVN control. So this document is kind of a universal document for those two boilers because it has setting both the parameters, setting the domestic hot water functions, and going into its test mode function, which is a pretty cool document. You get it laminated, it can last a long time. And so there's a couple other things on our website that I want everybody to take notice to. So the first one, if you notice on this slide, there's two selections here, okay? We're going to moving forward in the next two slides. I'm going to show you the contractor part of this login, but for right now, we're going to focus on the homeowner. So if we focus on the homeowner, on our website, if you scroll down at the bottom, it's going to say registered contractor. We want everybody to register as a contractor. If you're not registered, go online tonight or go online tomorrow when you're in your office, sitting at your computer, you get your first cup of coffee, go online, register onto our website as a registered contractor. Now, if a homeowner is interested, they can register on our website too. We're going to show you how to do that. So all they're going to do is click on the homeowner's spot on the website. When you go in there, it's going to ask them for all this pertaining information to set up their account. Now, I want you to take notice to what is on this screen here. You don't see on the bottom of the screen, I want everybody to take notice of this. You don't see read or write. You don't see read only. You see nothing on the bottom of the screen. So this tells you you're in the homeowner screen because they will not have access to change anything. Tonight in this presentation, we got 44 slides to go through, but towards the end, I got a little part of the presentation that covers our new app. And our new app is based the same way, where the homeowner can see certain things, but can't change anything. So it's really nice that they're not able to go in and change anything. All right, so as you can see, no read or write information that they have to accept on the screen. But they do have to set up with their email and their password. They have to go in, create an email, create a password, and register that. Also, if they're a contractor, now for you contractors, what you want to do is you want to go in, that second box, you want to click it, okay? When you click that, now I want you to take notice of my screen. You can see as we're going down here, we have the contractor contact information. Okay, so this is going to be all your information, your email, your company name, your address, all that information, fax number if you have a fax machine. I don't know how many people still have fax machines, but depending on all your contact information has to be entered in there. Then you're also going to get an agreement, and this agreement says you agree that you're going to follow all the standards and rules laid by NTI, and that's just saying you're not going to turn somebody's heat off. And you'll do the same process as the homeowner down in the right-hand corner there. You'll create a password with your email. So you'll create an email and a password, and then that will be your login. Now, it's pretty cool because it allows you to go in and see different things. And the website has recently changed, which I will go over with you today. Teddy, any questions out there before I keep rolling here? How we looking?
Mike wants to know what a fax machine is.
Yeah. Oh, my, look, yeah. Well, I don't know if they're out there anymore. I mean,
Yeah, you'll have to look it up in the in an encyclopedia or something. I don't know.
I have to
Nobody
go
uses
find it.
fax machines, Mike, so you didn't miss anything.
All right. Oh, what happened there? Let me close that. Sorry about that. Can you still see my screen?
Yeah, see
Okay.
a lot of slides.
Yeah, let me go back. I opened one up here, back there. There it is. All right. There we go. Can you see the partner login screen there?
Yep.
All right, so let's keep rolling here. So we talked about it earlier. So there's different parts of our website that you can access. So we just went through the front, what we call the front part of our website, which is basically just going through what residential products we had. And I went, showed you the list there. It showed all the boilers, the FTVNs, the TRXs, the TFT, which is our flagship product. Showed all those boilers, and it shows you the commercial. And you also have resources. So those other resources are, when trainings are going to be, they're going to start posting trainings on there. We're going to link our calendar. We're working presently to get a calendar that links there whenever we're holding the training at Walter Morris. If anybody hasn't heard of that, we do hold a monthly training at the Walter Morris facility in Foxborough, Mass, which is really nice because we bring you guys in. We do a lot of theory in the first day, and then the second day we kind of dive into doing a little troubleshooting and setting the combustion, adjusting combustion, looking at different parameters. So it's more of a really nice class where you get your hands on the equipment. But there's other tools that you can really use to benefit in this industry and benefit. We're working on a boiler. Let's take a look at the partner login. So you got to click on the partner login. As you can see where my red arrow is pointing. You're going to go in there and it's going to ask you to create an account. So you're going to have to give them your email, set up your password. Now, if you have remote, let's go back to the TRX and FTVN control. If you set up an account for your company, I would recommend you set up one account with one email so everybody can get in there, and everybody has the password, just like we do with the webinar program. We have one email address, it's one password. Makes it easier for if your tech's in the field, he can log in and maybe possibly reset the boiler. So something just to think about. So enter in your email, enter in your password, accept it. Once you do that, it will get you into the partner login. Okay, Teddy, let's launch poll question number 1.
Poll question number 1.
You want me to do
Where's
it or
the
you got it? I got it. Pull it up. There you go. There you go.
All
There
right.
you go. Should be launched.
How many of you have already set up a partner account at NTI? Select one of the following answers. You already knew about it? I have, and I use it all the time. I'm not quite sure what I'm reading here, Jason. The English is crazy. Before
No.
I call into tech, I'm assuming that means call.
I hit the end.
Right.
So it should be before I call into tech.
Right.
That's my fault. I was typing quick.
So, and I would say probably the first one is didn't know about it.
Yeah, and that's why we're doing this today.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing this
So
today.
I'm guessing what was on Jason's mind when he was writing these poll questions.
Let's call into tech.
All right. So you didn't know about it, you know about it, and you use it, or you do it before, or you just did it before you called tech.
Yeah, and some guys may look on there before they call tech support and say, hey, maybe I can find the answer instead of bothering them. But they are there for your help. And there's why we're doing what we're doing tonight. because 45% of them said they didn't know about it. And that's why, okay, let's close this poll
I would
question.
say it's a pretty equal division between those that didn't know about it and those that have already done it, and then just a few who try to look real quickly before they call tech support.
I would agree. I would agree. So, and that's why you guys, when you log in and register, here's what we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of cool stuff. Okay. First thing we're going to see is we're going to see parts lookup. You can go in, you can pull down which boiler you're working on. If you're working on an FTVN, you pull up the FTVN. Okay, you can see the breakdown. You can see where the hydro block is, or what we call our flow group. You can see what circulator it is. You can see right there on the right hand side, 651. You just go down to this the selection number and you look for 651, and that's your part number. Also, each one, the cool thing I like about our books is on the back side, you'll get the description of how to read the serial number. So if you're not sure on what year the boiler is, we have a little description to kind of help you out, make life a little easier. But once you get into the partner login, now you have the access to go into the parts finder. Now let's take a look at the parts finders. You can see here on the left-hand side, you get different options for the boiler. So you can go in to see an FTVN 85 through 199C. You can go in and see the TFTs 60 through 399. Any part that's in that boiler will be listed on that, right on that description there. So you can go in and you can look at, let's see, when you were working on a matrix. I don't know how many of them are still out there, but if you were working on one, there'd be parts there for the matrix. And then if you create a full login, you can see available pricing. That would be through the wholesale. The other cool thing about this is then you can even pick, if you're looking for a manual, if you don't want to go through all the gas manuals and the TRX and all the ones in the FTVN, you can physically look for that manual right in the selection bar. And all you do is use this little selector right here on the right-hand side to scroll down or up. And all you'll do is pick whichever your selection is. Now, the other thing is for registering stuff or doing warranty register, product registration. That's all done there too on the partner login. So you'll be able to go in and do that product registration. And what I recommend is, now remember, your certain products don't have warranties if it's not registered within 60 days. So the day you pull it out of the wholesaler, I'd be registering that boiler right there in the parking lot. And you just go on our website and you can do that. It's real easy. Just go on our website, pull your partner login up, boom, boom, boom. Mrs. Jones, and the spoiler's going here. This is what the model number, serial number is. It's registered. Now you're not going to forget about it because you're going to get home, a long day putting the boiler in, and now you're going to forget about registering that boiler. You're going to forget it the next day, and then it's going to slip your mind and you're going to forget it for a week. So do it when you leave the wholesaler. It's the best way. Or if the wholesaler does it for you, it makes it even easier.
Hey, so there's a
So,
good question here, Jason. Bill Mackey's got a question that you
sure.
probably should address. And it's if you take over the servicing on an NTI boiler,
Mm-hmm.
can the new contractor change the access from the old contractor, or does that have to be done, let's say, by the homeowner?
Are you talking about the access to the
The
control?
access to looking at it on Wi-Fi.
No. So what the homeowner, what the contractor, the homeowner can't do, but what the contractor will, the old contractor will have to give you the password. If not, if there's a fallout or whatever, you'll have to contact NTI and ask for Dave Nicholson, and he'll probably be the only person to really assist you on erasing the account and resetting it. So
Yeah.
that would be, because if you're in good speakings with like, let's say for instance, to answer your question, Bill, let's say for instance you're doing work for a guy, you do the installs, but he doesn't do service work. You do the service work. Now he's going to have to give you whatever information he set up to access. Now that's different. But if you're taking over another person's customer, I don't know how that would work. If they'd be nice enough to give it to you,
Yeah, the best bet, I think the best bet is just
you reset
contact
it.
NTI. They'll take that old person off from being, disassociate the old contractor from the boiler, and
Yeah,
then you register yourself as the contractor for it.
yeah, it's the best way. It's probably the easiest, less confusion, and less stress. Let's say that the homeowner and the old contractor had a falling out. Then you're out of that now. You know what I mean? So this may be a good idea to do
Now,
that.
now there's another question here that again it's a good question. It's not necessarily germane to what we're talking about presently, but it's close. So is it true that the app is only for the customer and
Yes.
not for the contractor? So
Uh,
yes, the answer to that is primarily it is for the person that owns the boiler, not the contractor. The
right. And
most useful part for the contractor is actually just the initial registering setup of the boiler, getting it
right,
on Wi-Fi.
right. And you'll see why.
But
Who
we'll
that,
get to
who asked that question?
Mileck.
Hey, my little paisan. Uh, yeah, we were just talking about that. Mike and I were talking about that. Matter of fact, that's who I was talking to, Teddy, when you pulled up at that job site yesterday. I was talking to Mike on the phone. We were talking about that, and I found out some more on that, Mike, since our last conversation. So I'll show you what I found out. Uh,
All right.
so let's just look at something else here. Okay, so let's say you have a situation, you're on a no heat call, right? And you need to get a part and you're in the middle of nowhere. You don't know who you're not dealing with your normal wholesaler and you need an NTI partner. It's like on the Friday afternoon. You could go into this partner login, guys. Boom. Search a distributor. You can go in there and find a distributor where you're working. Go over and buy it. Buy the part you need. They may have it. It may save you 20, it may save you 2.5 hours driving back to wherever you're working. It's little things. It's the little things sometimes. The other cool thing is on our dashboard, and you'll see once you get into the partner log and you'll see on the left-hand side, we have what we call dashboard. And that dashboard, and I'll show you my pointer here, this little dashboard has all the cool little tabs that are where the information can be found. It's going to describe where the information can be found. So let's take a look at this. Feedback. You can give us feedback like, hey, I was working on a TRX and I thought that the clip on the right-hand side was a little loose. And you give us that and give us a serial number. That's the other thing. Anything that happens at NTI doesn't happen without a serial number. So if you need a part to go out, or you need a tech call to be answered, or need a part to set out for a warranty, it doesn't go out without a serial number. Nothing leaves that place without a serial number. So you can go in, put the serial number in. Now that gives the guys like Jeff the opportunity to go in and say, okay, well, Mark said there was a problem on a TRX. Well, let's go look at that. And they can look at that serial number range of what the problem is. So it's really helpful. So poll question number 2. I will launch that for you. I'm pretty good at launching that. All right, there you go. There you
All
go,
right.
Teddy.
So, so which part of the NTI partner login do you use? Use it for product registration, for tech bulletins, to see system drawings, to look up parts, or all of the above?
That was a quick answer. Oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah, well, there we go. So again, product registration, tech bulletins, drawings, parts lookup, or all of the above.
We'll go the full minute and then we'll close
Yeah,
it out.
we'll go for a minute. We'll see how many responses we get. Um, and so here we go. So basically, the majority of the people do all the functions, and 11% use it for tech bulletins only. And those were the only two categories that got responded to. So basically, the majority of the people, the vast majority of the people, use all those functions.
It's a nice tool. It's a good tool for you guys to have. Now let's take a look at some of these tools that are available. Let's say, for instance, you guys are working on a boiler, maybe at FTVN or TRX, and you want to know if there's a different firmware upgrade. Well, if there's a tech bulletin out there, it will be on the website. It will be on the partner login. So all you have to really physically do is go into your boiler, get into your technical access point on the screen, go up to parameter 854 or 855, and it tells you which version of the software you have. So very real simple, and then you can just reference to what we have online. Or let's say, for instance, you're working on a job and you're like, I need a stand. I wonder if NTI has anything. Well, we came out with a new stand's a lot cheaper and a lot easier to put together than this monster right here. All right. So that's a tech bulletin. That's an updated product update. Anything that's a product update will get put on that website. So there you may find a tool that can benefit your installation. Or let's say you have a situation, you're on a service call. You're going through your sequence of troubleshooting, and you're working on a 285 boiler. Let's put that a TFT 285. All right, and you're going through the sequence of troubleshooting, and your flame signal's dropping out. Well, you can go on there and look at our tech bulletin. You can see back in July of 2019, and I remember when this one came out. I wish Steve was here for this one because he was there on the job with me, where Jason Thompson found out what was happening with the boiler and came up with this tech bulletin. So all they did was put a resistor in so the flame current doesn't drop out and it keeps the flame current. Because with LP, it was an issue. So these are things that you'll just look through the tech bulletins. I mean, it may be there. Let's say, for instance, you get a call from a homeowner, and the homeowner says, well, I wanted a combi at first, and I thought it was going to be enough hot water, but we just don't have enough hot water. So now you have a boiler you just put in. You have a homeowner or a consumer that's not satisfied. What can you do? Go on our website, go on our partner login. We got a drawing in there to tell you if you want to put a storage tank in there, here's how you do it to save you on a job. So that's available. These are tools that don't have to be a physical tool that can help you. Or here's a question. And it was funny because Steve was looking for this and it was always there. It was Dave Nicholson. He's had this for the longest time, but this has been on there for a long time. And look at this tech bulletin. This goes all the way back to 2020, December 4th of 2020, how to lock the boiler in heat mode, FTVN or TRX. That's always been there. And a lot of guys don't even know. I mean, I talked to some wholesalers and they're like, well, I'm calling you about this question. And I said, well, here, let me show you. Let me tell you where to find the information. You can do that by going into the partner login. Even on the partner login, we have a simulator. Presently, right now, the simulator only works for the TFT, but we're working on getting that simulator to work for the new TRX and FTVN control, and then the new TFT and control when that comes out. You may see that in this presentation. Parts lookup, same thing as I said before. You get that whole little drop down where you can pick the part of the boiler you have. What part you're looking for. It gives you a whole exploded view, and then you could also download if you want to know what's missing out of your toolbox. We have all the toolboxes that have all the parts in the toolboxes are coded in there with pictures and the replacement part numbers. So if you're wondering, you're working on FTGs and you're wondering what parts are missing, just look in your toolbox and just compare the parts that are online. It's real easy. It's that easy. And we even have sheets for you if you're working on a TRX, if you're working on an old TX, if you're working on a TFT or even an FTV. We're going to show you guys how to clean the heat exchangers on the left-hand side there. That picture there is of a brochure that you can download on the partner login to clean all the water tube boilers. On the right-hand side there, that's all the fire tube boilers. So that's all the fire tube and the tools you need and how to clean it. It's a 4-page document, walks you through the whole process. And you can even, if you have to return something, like let's say you have to return something, you can go on and fill out all this information, send it in, and they'll then carry it, or the return department. I don't know, Teddy, you know who's in charge of the return department? I don't know who's in charge of
that actually goes through tech support. Typically, it's Ron Munn.
Ron?
Yeah. Carrie's got her hands full with Carrie's got her hands full without having to deal with
don't give her any more work. I hate sending her emails. Carrie, can I ask a favor? I'm running out of favors. So I'm not the parts order department. And then also, if you guys need like branded logo, now we have a marketing person on staff. She's going to be working more. We're getting more of our marketing stuff up. more of the logos updated, updating the website. I'm sure she'll probably work on doing that. But that's something in the future you guys and gals will see, different changes to our website and to NTI as a whole. And it's just growing. But let's take a look at some other tools that are at your fingertips. It's not always just display. There's other tools that are out there that are at your fingertips. And now with the new TRX and FTVN control, that control has Wi-Fi built in, so you can remotely access it. So there's different programs out there that you can use. Now, if you're a homeowner, you can use the app, or you can use the homeowner version of the web-based program. So the
So we got
app.
a couple of questions here. Take
Oh,
take a take a breath for a second, Jay. So we got a couple of questions. Tim Cedric wants to know, when is the TFT getting an upgrade? Well,
I'll let you
the
take that one.
smaller TFTs, the 60 up through the 201, are going to be upgraded in June. They're going to become the TFTN. And the larger ones, the 285, the 340, the 399, and actually the TFT line is getting extended. So beyond the 399, there's going to be a 500, a 600, a 7 1/4, and an 850. And that will be late this year or January before you see the large TFTs get upgraded. And Kevin Gerard actually has a question about the storage tank.
Okay.
It's not changed, Kevin. When you were adding a storage tank to a combi boiler, which is what that drawing was, you can use a straight up storage tank, or you can, quite often, we just recommend people use an electric water heater without using the electric element, because that's already a rated storage tank. And we have drawings that illustrate how to use that.
Well, that's good that you. Let's go back.
That picture you showed, for instance,
Let's talk about this. Let's
showed a
talk.
Trin and Store tank. That's not the Trin and Store indirect tank. That's
It's a
just a
storage
storage
tank.
right?
So
There's no heat exchanger in it.
so let's talk about this now. If you wanted to do an electric hot water heater, just can you see my pointer, Teddy?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So just imagine you have right here, you have the aquastat. That's it's a live voltage aquastat. There's always one at the top of an electric water heater. There's always one right down here at the bottom. So
Yeah.
what you want to do is you want to disconnect this one, wire this one in. So what you'll do is you'll have this little, see my pointer still? This pump here is your key. This pump creates flow. So what you'll do is you'll wire this pump to
In
this
series,
aquastat.
in
Yep, in
series with
series,
that aquastat.
right here. And when you wire it in series with this aquastat, what happens is what this aquastat makes, it then tells this pump to start, sends 120 volts to this pump, which then sends flow through here, through the plate, back through here, and then into the tank. It's been used for years, and it's been used for years in a steam system, believe it or not, like
Right.
this. But
So
electric water heater, not a trim and
this
store.
particular drawing shows a Trin and Store tank, but it's not, just to repeat so everybody's clear, it's not the indirect tank, it's just a storage tank.
That's
And
right.
that's why usually the best cost-effective alternative, and I hate to talk people out of buying the Trinity tank, but honestly, the best cost-effective
Electric
alternative
water.
is just an electric water heater.
And sometimes it doesn't even have to be a big electric water heater. It can be a,
No, it doesn't.
depending, you just need to have a key that's going to create flow, and that's right here. That's your key right there.
Right. And it's got
I
to be a
like this.
bronze or a stainless circulator because it's potable water at this point.
Right. And here's my thing. You guys, I don't want you to lose your shirt on a job. I know you get a boiler installed, and sometimes they forget to tell you that they were going to convince their husband to get them a hot tub in the backyard, and now they need more hot water. Or they were going to add another bathroom, and that's not fair to you. So here's a fix for you. instead of replacing the boiler and putting a, or putting an indirect in, you could probably possibly just get away with this as a fix. Just throwing it out there. There's other things that there's different ways, to get out of trouble, and that's one of them. Just throwing it out there. Okay, so let's talk about this now. Milek asked about the app. Here we go. Here's your app. So presently it's available on all the Android, the Google Play Store, and what is it? Oh, is it Apple, whatever, iPhone. What's our app, Teddy? Come on, you're an iPhone lover.
What's the question? I'm sorry.
What's the Apple app? I know you were close with Steve Jobs. What's the Apple app?
The app looks just like it looks on the Google.
On the Android? Okay, so it's the
Yeah, I
same
mean,
thing.
as far as how it looks, it's on the iOS, it's the same.
Okay, so you see on the left-hand side there, it's a demo, so you do have to go in and set an account. You're going to set an account up just the same way you do as if you set up a boiler account. You're going to go in and you see I went in and put my information in. So, and I have some questions because it doesn't let me really do it. I was on there today, it doesn't let me really do anything. It lets me see everything. So I go and put the information in, and it did the little process, register in the process. You see it went through the process registration. And then what it did was it opened up this screen right here. All right, now this screen right here would be, if you're familiar with our login that we use now, this would be comparable to our like tech menu. Like right here would be our tech menu. But you can see all these things like, let's say, energy savings. These are only estimates. These aren't dead on accurate settings. If I look on the right hand side here, you can see we have different zone options. So all the homeowner will be able to do is look at the zones and the temperature for that zone. So you can see it's reading my boiler right now, and it's only telling me what I can see. Now, if I advance to the other menus, you can see here, I got, it confirmed that I was looking at the energy consumption. Now, it will tell you that this is not a dead on figure. It's just, an estimate. Now, you also have to go in and select the fuel and the units of, for US dollars. And then what it does is it tells you where the boiler ran, depending on if you want to look at hot water, you can see where it ran, and you can also see what's going on with the boiler. So this is the app only. Now, it gets better. We've recently had a change to our login. Teddy, I have to ask, is Frank Dorns on?
I don't see Frank on the list tonight.
Oh, wow. He is going to love this. So moving forward, this website-based program that we've been using for a long time now, since I've had my boiler, which is 3.5 years, is going to change a little bit. It's going to get a little bit of an upgrade. So it's going to give you access to go in and do certain things that you didn't do before and certain things that you didn't see before. So if you look at my screen on the top left-hand side, this is the new app base. Okay, this is the new screen. All right. If you look on the right-hand side, that's the old platform. Now, there's what it looks in the new platform. So you can see it has my number, my registration number, where the boiler's registered at, what's the serial number, what's the gateway serial number. Okay, this I got to figure out the scheduled maintenance. I reset it. It just doesn't. It's a Jason question. I'll see him when I go up in May. But that's the only thing I see. But you can go in here and see things like comfort setting. You can see scheduling, error codes, technical menu. Let's take a look at some of the stuff you can see. So before, where you would be able to see only these certain things, and they were plotted, it was a plotted number. You didn't see like a graph. Now you can physically go in and see a graph. See on the left-hand side here, we have a graph. So I selected flame ionization current or ionization current. I can see going back to 4/7/2022 to 4/7, just one day. But you can see where the boiler cycled. So you can just basically see where it cycled. Where before, if you wanted to look at the flame ionization current, you had to go to that parameter to look at it. Now you can just put it in there. you have a bunch of selections here. You can put it in there, select a different, you can see boiler runtime in here now, and hit apply. It'll give you the access. So you can see all the information for that cycle. You can choose the date. It does, I had it go all the way back to when the boiler fired up and it was thinking. So it did some thinking. And you could still see things like daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly consumption. But like I said, these are just estimated guesses. Oh, so any other questions, Teddy?
Yeah, we got some questions. So Ron Bug wants to know if you have a list of tools needed to clean boilers, and I know you do.
I do. So Ron, you got my email at the beginning, bud. Send me a email and I will send that list to you.
Yeah. Nate Hoffman wants to know on the new TR on the control, the TRX control, which is also the FTBN.
Yep.
The app will notify the customer if there's a problem, and he wants to know if he'll get emails as well. And
He
if
will.
he's the registered contractor, he will.
So here's how that works. Do you remember I said at the one little part you seen where the homeowner didn't have read or write? If they don't have read or write, whoever has the read and write always gets an email. So they can have read, but they're going to get an email. You will get the email before they do because you have the master access. So you can access that and there'll be no problem. You have master access to that.
Tim Sedgwick wants to know if you can add the Wi-Fi module to existing TFT boilers, and the answer is no.
Not right now.
Once the TFT-N is introduced, the Wi-Fi will be built in, but it's not currently backward compatible.
Right.
And
Any other questions?
yeah, one more question from Milik. Can he have a contractor account and a homeowner account with the same email address? And it's not advisable.
Yeah, that's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you may see. Here's the other thing with that, Milik. You may
The
run into a
moment
problem.
you use that
It locks
address as a homeowner address,
it
it
locks you out.
screws you up for being a contractor.
Yep, exactly. So what will happen, bud, is when you do that, you'll log in as the contractor, but it'll think you're the homeowner and it will give you no access. Because remember, everything's email based. So they looking at your email and the password you set. So they know if Mrs. Jones logs in, they ain't getting crap. They're just getting to look at just what the app showed you, nothing. So
Yeah. If you're a contractor and you also have a boiler, you own a boiler that you want to, it's really advisable. Just get yourself another email account. You can get a Gmail account or something for nothing, and use that to register as a homeowner. So you don't compromise your contractor account.
that's right. All right. So we good on the questions?
Yeah, we're all caught up on questions.
All right, I'm about to go through something really, really quick. Ready, Teddy? Boom! Here's what the future's gonna look like, boys and girls.
Yeah, this will be the new when the
I'll let you go. Go ahead.
TFTN comes out, and ultimately this will be on the LX and also on the FTG. So everything that currently has a SOLA control that has the touchscreen control, it's going to migrate to this platform. So we'll no longer be beholden to Honeywell. We'll have our own control and so right now we're in a terrible back order situation with Honeywell, and it's killing us.
And this control is nice because you guys can see. I'm gonna go from top to bottom. You got your temperature, outdoor temperature. You can see the date that the boiler was registered. So that will be anytime the Wi-Fi setup, it will be registered right here on the screen. You can label the zones. You can go in and you can see on the bottom here, you got all your air, your cascade settings, your air codes, your boiler details, which pumps running will be activated. Moving down here, you can see when you set your heat curve, wherever you set your curve for, you'll get to set both the outdoor temperature and both your indoor temperature. And here's the cool thing. I'm working right now. It's not in this presentation. It's not in this, but I did attach a document for everybody. You have the handout for the TRX and FTVN control. But I'm coming out with a new one with nice pictures, and it's even talks about the 222 parameter, which is in the TRX and FTVN control. But you can see right here. Let me point to it. This is your adjustment for your slope. Okay, so right here you got your adjustment up and down. I mean, there's no reason that this in 2022 you're at a 1.3. If it was me, I'd adjust this curve down a little bit. Don't get too aggressive with the curve. And you even got, once in the future, we'll have when we have the room sensors in play, you'll see there'll be an influence from the room sensor, and you'll have your offset settings. So really nice features that are coming out. I wanted to show you guys and gals the tools that will be available in the future. Then you look down the bottom here, you can do your test functions, start your maximum, minimum test functions, or go manual. You can see all the temperatures, where it's cycling at, where it's going to shut off at. So really nice. When we get to this point, it's going to be another whole training in itself, but I'm excited because I love the control myself. Teddy, you live with it, so you
I have this control already in a boiler installed in my house because I've been a test site for it, and I didn't think I had a TFT actually previously since basically since they were introduced in 2012,
it's a
and
great
it was
boiler. Hey, that's a great boiler. Listen, TFT
well,
is
bulletproof boiler. It broke my heart to take it off the wall, but I had agreed to be a test site, and I now having lived with this, no regrets whatsoever. This gives you a lot more information, gives you more options for control. You can even control your a recirc pump on your indirect tank from this control if you want.
no, see, that's incredible. I mean, guys, things are changing. I mean, I'm excited because hopefully one day I'll have that technical tech service manager thing that they're talking. That's why I was hoping Frank was on. I heard Jason's going to work on getting me that service manager access so that I can help guys out if their boiler's registered. Only if it's registered. So, any other questions there? I got my little question guy up there. Hey, Teddy, you didn't tell everybody I met somebody smaller than me yesterday. I thought that was entertaining. There was somebody smaller than me. I thought it was entertaining.
There is a question actually from Mylek again.
My buddy.
Will the new control, the new screen, the TFTN screen, have a lock? Like the Sola does. Is there a password?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just like we do, Mike, with the TRX and FTVN control. You got to go into 222. You got to go into 234 before you can get any further. You can
Right.
go
I
to
mean,
243.
it's not quite the same on the TFTN control, but
A lot different. A lot different. You got to go in.
but you do have to have the code to
Yep.
get into the programming.
And my luck, that will probably have a a supplement. So let's say, for instance, or an add-on or like a addendum to the manual where we'll have a startup document. We're always going to come up. It's one thing I love about NTI. We always have documents for everything. That's, we don't want you guys to be.
That's very useful. Certainly all those tech bulletins because we learn stuff as we go. From doing tech support, from dissecting boilers or parts that get returned, as part of the RMA process. So anything we learn that's going to help you going forward, we will post as a tech bulletin. And they're all sorted by model. So if you
Right.
go in those tech bulletins, you're not just looking at a whole pile of them. If you're only concerned about stuff for TFT, you go to the TFT section.
It's and it's the tech bulletins are helpful. I mean, God, Teddy, come on. I'm gonna make you go back in time. What did you have right behind your seat in your van? A shelf dedicated to freaking books. I remember driving around in my freaking, what was it, Econoline 150 van. It was always Econoline Fords 150 vans driving around. You had that back shelf through. It was always Weather Guard. That was the people who made the shelves. You had that one back shelf that you had the sliding door. You could always put your books in. That's where you had your books. Now, guys, damn, you got it at your fingertips. Oh my God,
Well,
you
no
guys have a
doubt.
problem? I
We
look it
used
up
to have,
online for you.
we used to have about 3 or 4 feet of shelf devoted to manuals
Yeah, that's what I'm
in the
saying.
service van, simply because I mean, pre-internet, that was the only way you had to have the information. That was the only way to have it. Was
I
to have it.
remember I remember hearing stories which guys will blow my mind. It will blow your mind. Listen, I remember hearing stories where the salesman used to, like guys in our field now, Teddy, in the old days, used to carry a bag of quarters around so they could get to a payphone
Yeah, right.
to call everybody back. Like nowadays you just text message it, go to hell, or I'll call you back, or whatever you want to say. But it's easier. So any questions out there? Let's take a look here. But let me throw
Um,
this out here. I want to throw this out here. So before we're done, it is the end. Uh, so I'm done for the evening.
Thanks for watching the video today. If you'd like to check out more videos, see the link below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for all the future updates. And also check us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram.